Hey everyone, thanks for returning. This video, or this series of videos I'm going to do is over a game that I picked up at Gen Con, and I've been kind of going through it, learning the rules and stuff. But this is something I want to kind of break down and do section by section. And so how I'm going to do this is, on the bottom of the screen here, you're going to see what we're covering in this video. And so the game that we're going to be taking a look at is, maybe some of you already guessed it, this big box game right here. And I say big box because it's kind of wide, but it's heavy. It's heavy. So it's Folklore, the Affliction. And so we're going to take a look at this. So I am going to do a review at the end of all these videos as I go through the rules and the components and character building and yada yada yada. Okay, and so let's take this on the table and start this series. Alright, so we're going to do some character creation. I had a lot of fun with this. It kind of gave me that RPG feel, building a character feel, because of the character sheets here. I want to show you a couple that I did. And so I picked an Exorcist earlier because the game I was going to play. I'm going to have an Exorcist and the Archaeologist. So I take both the hero cards from for those characters, and so then I have here. All right, so for this guy, the Exorcist, I gave him the name as Friar Tuck because he looks like a friar. And every time I think of a friar, I think of Robin Hood, so Friar Tuck. Let me zoom in some more. Okay, and then his class, Exorcist, and then down here is the focus, and then keywords which will be here, so holy and learned. Okay, and then I'll explain more of these as we do our own character creation. But you can see there, his starting health is 22. Sorry, his starting health is 22. His starting defense is 36, and this is his card here. I'm gonna back up just a hair. It shows you what cards to start with, and then location extras, and then the lore tree, which is basically like leveling up. So set that aside, and then this is the Archaeologist here. I gave him the name of Senor Belmont, and he is an archaeologist. The focus I chose was Explorer, and then the keywords, which will be on his card, are Explore, Learned, and Mythos. Alright, so for this purpose, let's see here. Let's go with the Witch Hunter. I think that'd be fun. So I'm going to take that booklet here. Then I'm going to go through all the character cards I have over here, find the Witch Hunter. So I'm back up just a little more. Okay, so the Witch Hunter. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a name. Well, when I think of the Witch Hunter, I think of The Witcher. So the name I'm going to give him is, say, Geralt. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in while I'm doing this. Move this stuff out of the way. All right. The player, I'm going to say, it's me. I'll go ahead and erase this later because I don't want to waste a sheet. But for the purpose of this, I want to show you guys how it's done. And then for the character, I'm going to pick Witch Hunter. And then up here, record sheets, character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, male or female. I'm going to say male. And then I'm not quite sure what these numbers are up here for. I haven't looked in the rules, but I think it has something to do with the number of players. And so the other ones I marked 1, 2, and this guy would be 3. because he's the third player on the list. I mean, down here, sorry. This track here, 1, 2, 3 at the top. Okay, and then his focus. So if we go to his little booklet here, back up some more. You get to choose a focus. So this guy says Inquisitor or Bounty Hunter. So the Inquisitor says you are a master of interrogation and information gathering. You may interrogate a mortal creature instead of killing them. If your attack would kill the target, roll a d6 on the effectiveness or your interrogation. Roll a d6 on the effectiveness or your... I wonder if that's supposed to be of, because that makes little sense. I think there's a typo there. It says if your attack would kill the target, roll a d6 on the effectiveness or your interrogation. So maybe it's saying that either you can kill it or interrogate it, or instead of killing it, because I thought that's how it kind of read up here, you roll a d6 and then it's C, the effectiveness of your interrogation. Well, anyways, on a 1, your effects have killed your target, lose 1 lore. Okay, so it's saying you're either going to kill them or interrogate them. Okay, I got it now. Your target refuses to talk, nothing happens. Your newfound knowledge allows you to regain 1 power point. You convince them to reveal a useful source, draw 1 item card. You'll learn useful information allows the group to flee their next skirmish. If you are the leader, gain +5 might against the next affliction, not stackable. Okay. And the Bounty Hunter says at the beginning of each story, roll a d6 to determine your target bounty. Each time you land a killing blow against that creature type, you gain 1d6 extra coins. You may re-roll your bounty every time you enter a new town. That's pretty good. Either or is really good. That's a tough one. So you can either go for the more greedy or the more powerful. I guess I'll go with greedy for this one. So I'm going to say the Bounty Hunter. Instead of checking it on here, I don't want to damage this. And so I'm going to write it on here. That's what this is for. And so, as you can see here, let's see if it'll zoom in a little bit, or focus. There we go. So on the focus, I'll write Witch Hunter. Okay, and then the keywords. The keywords will be on this sheet here. Okay, and it says hunt, martial, and military. Okay. And then you have your negative status and positive status trackers. You just check them and erase them as you go, which is really cool. Like, if this was much bigger, it would give me a much better feel of like playing D&D or something. But the fact that it has all these buffs in here are really nice. Okay, now going to the attributes. Okay, the base for Vita would be 21 for this guy, so I'd write 21. And then as we go through, if there's any other cards that give him extra Vita, we would add those in. So 21. And then his defense is 38. His might is a +4. His damage is a +2. His defense, sorry. Okay, up here I put power, but his power should be 5. And then his defense down here should be 38. I'm going down like this way, but they had some things backwards on here. So the stride is 4. That's how many movements he has. Okay, and then I open up this booklet here, and it tells you what cards to get. So I would pull out a bandage for him to start with. Okay, and then I will go to the ability cards here. Take these out. And then I'm going to look for his cards. Looking for the ones that have red lettering. There we go. I dropped these last night. Got a little mixed up. Okay, so telepath, witch hunter. Okay, so in the scope and tracker. Okay, and then for his weapon, I would go into the items cards. I don't have them all set out because we're not really playing. We're just kind of going through this a little bit at a time. And then I will look for his crossbow. And so there it is. All right. And then these are the location extras for him. And on the back side, the lore tree. So when he levels up, he can spend 100 lore, which is basically XP, on these different skills and stuff. So, all right. So on his skills here, on this sheet, because it says skills, you would go to okay, sorry, down here. So for archaeology, nothing. Well, basically you just go to the ones he has. So I'm looking for a faith. So it'd be a +1. And then nerve would be +2. And then occult would be a +1. Okay, so you have your attributes and your skills here listed. And you don't necessarily have to go through. This is just nice for a tracker, especially when you get buffs. And so speaking of buffs, okay, going through these looking. See what if these give me anything extra. Okay, and then the witch hunter, you have superior skill at routing your enemies. Reroll all missed ranged attack or recover 1 ammo. Usable during a skirmish. It says once per round. This one says gain +5 might with ranged weapons during the first round of combat. Usable during a skirmish. So I would add this +5 to my might here, because it's a modifier. Actually, yeah, it says items abilities. So it's an ability, so I'd do 5 here. But I would have to do something to remind myself the first time I use this, like maybe put a check above it and then erase it. I'll show you a little bit close. Alright, so the might I'd put here, like I was saying, and then the card says gain +5 might with ranged weapons during the first round of combat. And so during the first round, that's where I'd get to use that 5 might, but I might put like a check or something in there to notify myself when I actually used it. And then on this little character pad, it gives you a place to put your coins and your lore points, so XP and gold, because the coins are basically gold. And then on the back of this sheet, I'm not going to rip it off yet. But you would, well, I guess, you know what, I might just use this character later. So, because I'm kind of liking how he's turning out. Like, this is just so much fun for me to be able to create this character and write all this stuff in. And so right now, like, this gives you all his equipment. He doesn't have anything in his head, his neck, his chest, the back. However, in his hand, he has the crossbow. So I'd write crossbow. Or there's a series of numbers down here. You would actually write that number instead of crossbow. But I don't mind. However, for the ability cards, I think I will go ahead and write the card numbers. And so for the consumables, I'd write bandage because he has a bandage to start with. That's a consumable. Starting ability is over here in the corner. So down here are the consumables. Sorry. Let me back up. Okay, so down here is the consumables. Over here is the lore and starting abilities. So like when you level up and stuff, you would check this off and then you'd put the abilities that you bought there. So for my tracker, I would write A, B, ampersand, or not, sorry, ampersand, power pound or hashtag FC12, or I can actually just write tracker because there's enough room there, so I'll do both. And then the other one's in the scope. So that way, when I put things away, I don't have to always necessarily keep everything with him, but I can just make like a separate bag. That's what I did here, a separate bag of equipment that belong to the heroes. That way, then I could just go through and list, okay, this is who had what. Which I might just go ahead and do that now, because I might end up playing a 3-player game. Who knows? And I'll get a bandage out later. And so that's it. I mean, on the back side you have your witch, your ghost form. So you have on the back side you have your ghost form. You have your ghost points, defense, might, damage bonus, stride. Stride, like I said, is the movement points. So I think that covers the character creation. So you give him a name, the class, which is the character class. I do believe this is the number of heroes in the series, and the male or female. Obviously he's a male. I'm a male. It'd be nice if they came out with a female version of these characters. And then the player, my name, focus, which is he's going to be the witch. I put witch hunter, but I meant bounty hunter. He is a witch hunter, so bounty hunter, because he wants to get a little more gold in his pocket. His keywords: hunt, martial, military, and then over here he's got all these attributes. So since there's no mods, I can go ahead and write them in the bigger boxes. However, I might just save that and not worry about it. Unless I get extra bonuses, then I'll add them all up and then put them in the bigger box. And then the skills. And then the starting abilities, what he starts with, and the weapon he starts with. And then I might refer to this throughout the whole game, so I might not just put this in the box. I'll probably always keep this with my character sheet. So that's character creation. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll try to answer anything I can. Thank you. See you guys next time.